All right. Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us today for our Giving Tuesday email marketing guide webinar. This is our first webinar in the Giving Tuesday Procrastinator series, and we're excited to be kicking this off with you guys today. My name is Daniela Bears, and I'm part of the marketing team here at GiveSignup, RunSignup. I'll be your moderator today and go through a few housekeeping items before I introduce today's speakers and we get started. So the Nonprofit Circle Facebook group. If you have not already joined the group, I wanted to invite you all to join in on the conversation. You'll be able to see there's a QR code on the screen. And if you open up your phone camera and hover over the code, just tap on the screen and a link should pop up for you to follow. You can join that way. This nonprofit group was created by us, and the intention was to open up the conversation about event fundraising, just meant to be a place where you can connect with your peers, some other experts, so that you guys can share tips and tricks. We want this to be a resourceful platform where everybody can come together and communicate. All right, the 50K grants giveaway update. You've probably already received an email from us about this, but if you have not, we want to make sure that you are aware, understand what it is, and how to participate. So I'm going to go over 3 of the requirements. Thank you. So the very first one, your organization must be a nonprofit with a 501c3 status and eligible for the GiveSignup platform. Secondly, you must create a Giving Tuesday campaign with one of our products on GiveSignup, RunSignup website, a donation form, or a fundraising campaign. So it doesn't matter what you pick, as long as it is one of our products, will be how you will qualify. Lastly, you must be one of the first 500 organizations to raise at least $100 on the day of Giving Tuesday, which is November 30th, starting at 12 a.m. So if you haven't gotten started on building out your campaign or you're still thinking about it, I highly encourage you to. This is a great opportunity, and we're offering a matching grant of at least $100 to the first 500 organizations that complete the requirements. So, we're excited to be able to share this with you, and we really encourage you to get started on that. Okay, so jumping into today's speakers, we have Steve, who is a product manager here at GiveSignup, RunSignup. And we have Johanna, who is a marketing manager here at GiveSignup and RunSignup as well. And they will be sharing all of the great information with you today. So before we get started and dive in, just a quick rundown on the agenda today. We will get started with a quick intro, just remind you who we are. We'll move over to email marketing for your Giving Tuesday campaign. Then we'll talk about your email marketing timeline. We're going to move over to messaging best practices, and then take a look at the new exciting free GiveSignup email marketing. And we'll end off with any questions you may have that we haven't gotten to throughout the webinar. So without further ado, I will pass on to your speakers.
Hey everybody, thanks for coming today. Just a quick kickoff on who we are. If you've not been with us before, if you have, you probably know this story because we tell it a lot. We were founded in 2010 as RunSignup, which was focused specifically on technology, purpose-built for endurance events. From there, at that point, over 10 years or so, not quite 8-10 years, we'd started to notice that most of our customers either were nonprofits or they were working to support nonprofits. And we were getting more and more requests from our customers to help them in other ways. Like they were doing a 5K walk with us, but they also wanted us to be able to help support their gala or to help with some of their online fundraising year round. From there, we branched out into our GiveSignup, RunSignup branding, which means that we have a suite of products for nonprofits that ranges from registration to ticket events to online fundraising and donations. Today we're going to talk about email marketing, which is integrated into a number of those performance or platforms and is pretty new, and we're excited about it. Our main goal is just to help you guys support or grow your supporter base. We don't succeed if you don't succeed, so that's why we kind of see this as a partnership. We want to help you so that you can help us. Quick overview of the products that we have. These are available as a suite. You can use all of them. You can use a few of them. You can just use what you need for an organization. Built specifically for nonprofits, we have, like I said, ticketing events, fundraising campaigns, online donations. We also have a lot of nonprofits, though, that use our membership platform or our registration. And then we have a separate system that can help with race day scoring and that kind of event day stuff. That tends to be done through a partner, but some nonprofits will use that as well. So email marketing for GivingTuesday, how to get your piece of the giving pie. This is specific kind of overview of what you want to do for your email marketing for GivingTuesday. And then at the end of this, Steve will go into actually how to set up your campaign in email marketing on GivingTuesday. So why do you want to do a GivingTuesday campaign? We've talked about this kind of cheesily, getting your piece of the giving pie. But the real reason that we say that is that people want to give. The money is out there. In 2019, over 2.47 billion was raised specifically on GivingTuesday. It was actually an increase from 2019. So people are there ready to give, and you want to make sure that your organization is in front of them. So when they're deciding where to send their money, they can send it to you. It's been around for almost 10 years now. It's really been growing year after year. So if you haven't done a campaign before, it's a good time to check it out and at least put a little bit of effort into a lightweight campaign. Why email for GivingTuesday? There's a lot of different things that you can use. You can do a full fundraising campaign, or you can do an event, but no matter what you pick, email should be a part of your GivingTuesday campaign. The main reason is that it's pretty ubiquitous. It's everywhere. Everyone has an email account at this point, and it's a great way to reach people and let them know what you're doing and remind them that you're there. It's cost effective. Email in general is going to be a lot cheaper than your standard mail campaign. If you're able to use our free email platform, then it's no cost at all, which makes it really easy for you to send out a lot of communications. You can target it to make sure that you're sending the right ask to the right person. And it's time sensitive, which means you don't want to send someone a postcard 3 days in advance of GivingTuesday that says, remember to donate in 3 days, and maybe it gets there on time, or maybe it gets there after GivingTuesday. You want to be in front of them right away, and then you want it to be really, really easy for them to donate. So the call to action is there. All they have to do is click, the donation can be made. They don't have to go in and type in any information, make it, any extra steps to give you some money. Be genuine, make it personal. I think we're going to say this about 10 times throughout this webinar. It's because it's really important. Anything that you can do to set yourself apart is going to be really important, because people are going to be getting a lot of communications about GivingTuesday. That means telling your own personal stories, making sure that you have targeted communications so people know that you know who they are and they feel like they're a part of your organization. We're going to talk a little bit later about how to customize some of your subject and content, and how to use replacement tags to really personalize your emails and make the content specific to the right person. Motivate, offer incentives. The people want to feel like they are contributing to something. So in a lot of ways, the biggest incentive you can give them is just the knowledge that they've really helped. Making sure that you have goals that are attainable, that you show those goals and you show the progress to those goals and you show what happens from those goals, can be an incentive in and of itself. Something as simple as a goal thermometer, email updates to let people know how the progress is going can be a goal and can be a motivating incentive for people to feel like they've really participated. If you can go a step further, offering swag, experiences, some sort of reward for people who either donate a certain amount, or if you want to really take it to the next level, offering some sort of actual motivation to people who are doing fundraising for you, who reach out and bring in other people. You can use fun digital rewards like that. We have some badges and milestones you can use if you have fundraisers and you want to give them a little quick reward for what they're doing, or you can give them actual things out of your stock as a thank you for participating with you. All right, so Steve is going to walk through the timeline of when you want to be sending emails and what kind of email content you want on each day.
Thanks, Johanna. And I just want to point out, we are sharing a brain this morning or today, excuse me, depending on what time zone you are, because look, our outfits are just really in sync. Just shows our team spirit, both inward and outward. But thanks, and I wanted to take all the good information you've already provided about why email is so important, why GivingTuesday is so important, and then really lay out a roadmap for everybody so that you can come away from today with a plan in place, right? So I think that's key, and I think that's one of the goals here with GiveSignup, RunSignup always, is to make your job as an organizer, as a nonprofit, a little bit easier, remove those barriers so you're focusing on what's most important, which is those donor relationships, getting the word out, and we're taking all the nuts and bolts and keeping that work to a bare minimum. So let's talk about the plan. 1 month before, sending out your campaign reveal about Giving Tuesday, and that is a scary date right there, October 26th. That was yesterday, but do not worry, because I'm still going to give you a gold star if you get out an email this week. So if you don't already have a plan in place, all hope is not lost. Get it out this week and make sure people know about your intention to have a Giving Tuesday campaign. And then 1 week before, you're going to send out a reminder. And I'm going to cover this in a little bit, but I want you to also share some additional details that maybe weren't in that first email so that it's fresh. It doesn't feel like it's just regurgitating the original message, and it gives more things to get people excited. Then 1 day before, you're going to send another reminder letting them know, hey, tomorrow's the big day. And then on Giving Tuesday, you're going to send 3 emails. So that sounds like a lot, but people are ready for you and people need to hear from you because it's such an important day. We already went over how much money nonprofits brought in the past. And so people are watching for this. And as we all know, some of us have our day stacked in the beginning, middle, maybe the end. So make sure you're reaching somebody right when they're ready to take action. So you're going to hit them in the morning, the afternoon, the evening, and we'll talk about what each one of those, what information should be included. And then 1 day after, maybe the most important part of this timeline is to say thank you, right? So it doesn't just stop at Giving Tuesday. After that, you want to make sure that they all have a great experience, and what better way to cap that with a very genuine and honest and thoughtful thank you, and set them up for engaging with you in the future. Okay, so 1 month out, that's the one that's going out this week. When you send this out, they're gonna see a personalized message, and that's a great tool that you can use with our email marketing now, where you can make sure that you're not just saying dear supporter, but you're saying dear, and then you'll insert the first name from a database that you've uploaded. So that makes them feel like, hey, this person knows me, and it also cut through a little bit of spam filters. You're going to want to include a strong message about your organization's mission that drives them to action. So that could be a story, it could be a particular initiative or specific area that those funds are going to be contributing to. Talk about those things, make sure it's relevant and timely. And then give your details about the Giving Tuesday campaign. So how are they going to support you? How are they actually going to make that donation? Give them the link. Details on how they can participate, not just with the Giving Tuesday financial campaign, but are there other ways to give that they can volunteer and support you maybe on social media if you've got some really strong volunteers. There's lots of ways to give on that important day. And then of course, just remind them of the date. You know, we all got a lot of things going on, and Giving Tuesday, November 30th. And then 1 week out with the reminder, you're gonna help tell them, where are these donations going to be going? These specific ones that are raised on Giving Tuesday. People want to know that their actual dollars in a specific act are going to be where those are going to be going. Announce your incentive level reward. So this is talking about that additional information. You could share it in your 1 month out, but super fun a week out to be like, hey, if you donate X amount of money, $50 comes to us from you, you're going to get this awesome refrigerator magnet. Or, you know, think about any of the swag you've got left over from previous events, coffee tumblers, hats, shirts. Offer those up to folks and give them a thanks. And they love having those pieces that help them attach and connect better to your organization and advertise to folks. People want others to know that they're connected and supporting what's important to them, which is what's important to your organization. Make sure you're sharing what your goal is. So what are you actually shooting for? Yes, you want them to hit these incentive levels, but what, as a collective group, everyone, what are we trying to reach? And then details on how to follow along with the goal. So should they be following you on the Facebook page, Instagram, both of them? Are you sending out emails? Yes, you are. You're doing 3. Maybe you're sending out more, but make sure they know how to follow, because they want to be part of that. Of course, they feel good about their individual contribution, but seeing the group's progress throughout the day, they want to be a part of that. It makes them feel good. And then a link to create your peer-to-peer campaign. So that's when, if you're going beyond just a simple donation to a Giving Tuesday campaign, and you've got folks that you know are motivated to create their own page tied to your Giving Tuesday campaign, where they're inviting all their friends and family, and now they're making their impact even bigger, make sure they know how to do that. Give them a link to get it set up. And then one day out, again, you're hitting them multiple times with these messages, focusing a lot on social channels, because that's honestly how a lot of them are going to be following along on that day. How they can participate beyond just giving, remind them of the campaign and the goal, link to the campaign page, make sure they've got those very important links, and then what are the links, if there's a button that they can share out to their networks. So they are, again, taking their contribution, their involvement, and making it even bigger with their group of supporters. And then the day of. So we're going to talk about those 3 emails. You've got in the morning, just reminding, hey, today's the big day. Let's get started. You'll get those early birds donating. Supporters are going to see hour by hour the play-by-play of Giving Tuesday, how progress is going. And think about, you're going to get some stories and some things that people will share. So you don't have to necessarily plan out every single communication on social media. Maybe somebody talks about they're donating from this such and such area, and they're part of this affiliate, and they did this great thing this year. Like, those are great things to share. So leave that flexibility open so you can be responding and sharing information in real time with everyone that's watching what you're doing. And then they're going to go and they're going to donate, right? Hopefully. And then at midday, you're going to give another update to give them how things are going and to make sure that they're sharing to their social networks. And then a final email on Giving Tuesday to remind them about, did you reach your goal? Are you close to your goal? What about if you actually reached your goal super early in the day? Awesome. Do we stop there? No. What we do is we tell them, and we have this prepared, so this is advice to you guys, make sure that you have got a backup goal, meaning a stretch goal. So if your goal is to raise $50,000, maybe your stretch is $75,000, and you talk to people about what is that extra little bit going to do if they continue to contribute and support the stretch goal. So have both of those pieces of information, what the amount is for the stretch goal, and then what is the additional contribution to the cause and to the organization. What are those all going to be? And then the day after, again, say thank you. Make sure you're thanking everybody for their contributions, from donations to maybe time that they spent, to ways that they have engaged with you throughout, sharing their experiences and spreading out to their networks. And then share with them what other ways there are to be an advocate for the organization through the year-end campaign. Now, it may be tempting to go and talk about additional financial goals that you're going for. There are opportunities for that as you continue past Thank You Wednesday, but use Thank You Wednesday as a way to really focus on that thank you, talk about the non-financial pieces whenever possible, and keep it really genuine so you're not asking for another financial contribution on Thank You Wednesday. It's simply just thank you for all the support you gave us, and look what we were able to do with that support. Okay, so I'm going to switch back over to Johanna, who's going to talk about best practices for your messaging.
If you've been following along so far, I'm sure you're going to be shocked to find out that we're going to talk about making them targeted and personalized. I think the first one, selecting a subject line, which as someone who sends a lot of emails is something that I know I always find very anxiety ridden. So it's good to just keep a couple of really quick things in mind. Be descriptive. You do want to tell people this is what it's about. You don't want to, have them guessing who this communication is from. Let them know that it's about Giving Tuesday. And again, I would put what the outcome of your Giving Tuesday is going to be right there, what you want from Giving Tuesday. Keep it short. Nobody's going to read all the way across their screen. So you really want to focus on the first few words, and definitely use no more than 9 words or 60 characters. And limit punctuation. I know it might seem more exciting if you use 6 exclamation points, but that actually kind of turns people off. So avoid using a ton of punctuation. Don't have long sentences, and also keep it limited and concise. Telling your story. So I mean, we've mentioned this a lot of times, talking about what it is you do and what the cause, what supporters are actually contributing to. I think there's 2 real pieces that you want to focus with on that. One is having some tangible metrics. That's just real proof and evidence for people that what you're doing is really benefiting people. So, how much money you've raised this year, who's benefited from your fundraising so far, how much you're trying to raise by the year end or through this Giving Tuesday campaign, and what the additional things you can accomplish are if you're able to meet that goal. The second piece of it, though, is also important. You really want to be personal. Pick one really good story from your organization for each communication and share that story as a way of really connecting people to what those numbers mean and what the actual true impact is. Next. All right. Going mobile, just to keep in mind, 53% of emails are read on a mobile device. Most of us create our emails on a laptop. You send it to your email, you test it on your laptop. A lot of times that's the only way that you see it. Make sure you're always sending your emails to your phone. The templates that we have that are built that are pretty simple should be mobile responsive, but I would say even with those, you want to send it to your phone because you always want to be in the habit of checking and making sure that you know what it's going to look like on a phone. Anytime you can use a template from whether it's one of ours or from another company that has built-in mobile responsiveness, that's the best way to do it. If you're not doing that, making sure that any of your links and calls to action are at least 57 by 57 pixels just means that you want to make sure it's big enough that if someone's thumb is trying to hit it, they can actually get to the button and take the action. The second piece of this is actually not on this slide, is make sure that the form that you're sending them to make the donation is also mobile responsive. You don't want to send them a mobile responsive email. They're excited, they go to donate, and then they can't actually put through a donation on their phone. Segmenting your supporters. So Steve will talk a little bit about these as he's going through the product, so I'm just going to touch on them really lightly. Making sure that you're sending the right kinds of emails. There's a difference between transactional emails that are letting someone know we got your donation, thank you, here's the information for the next event, that kind of thing, and emails that are asking them marketing and asking them for a donation. You want to keep those separate because you want to make sure that you aren't, getting people who are just who really only wanted transactional emails to unsubscribe from those because they were being used incorrectly for marketing. Uploading custom lists. There's a lot of lists. If you're using donations and events within our platform, there's a lot of those are going to be built automatically. You can also use your own custom lists to bring in people from any sort of previous experience. And with that, you can bring in really individual information about them, how much they've donated previously, how much, what events they've attended. And those are the kinds of things that you can use to personalize your emails. A quick note on that is if you are sending the same email to multiple lists, it will automatically dedupe and that person will only get one email. However, if you're sending, 5 completely separate emails to 5 separate lists and there may be overlap on the lists, then that could have the potential of sending people multiple emails. So you want to make sure if you are sending different emails that you're setting up your lists in such a way or using exclusions to make sure that people aren't getting multiple emails on the same time. And personalizing your message, again, I pretty much mentioned what this means, and again, Steve's going to show this, so I don't want to take too much of the time on it, but you can replace things like first name, so your email will say, hi, Steve, instead of, hi, supporter. You can also then put in really specific things like, thank you for donating $10,000 this year. And that way they know that it was really for them. If you do that, you can use defaults to make sure that if someone doesn't have that information, if you have a list that doesn't have full information on everyone, if Steve's first name isn't in there, then it will say hi friend or hi supporter. So it isn't just blank if he isn't there. Why to do this? It really does increase, the amount that people interact with your email. They see a 14% click-through rate increase and a 10% increase in conversions, meaning people who actually donate to your campaign if you have personalized your emails. All right, and now the exciting part, Steve is actually going to take you through how all this works.
Thanks, Johanna. All right, so we are going to go ahead and first we're going to cover just some basics of our free email marketing. So, and this is really important because I know a lot of us have used platforms in one way or another, and you might be using one right now very heavily, but we have unlimited email sends and unlimited email contacts. So the days of watching your monthly subscription go up as you add additional contacts, that can be over with GiveSignup, RunSignup emails marketing system. Default lists are included. So what that means is that if you've already got folks donating to a donation website, you can email those directly with the information they've already entered when they made that donation. So you're not uploading lists or having to worry about any of that. You're just using the data that you already have on people that are already supporting you. And then uploading custom lists. So limit to 500,000 per list. That's a big number. It's going to increase in the future too, but that gives you a lot of wiggle room to add in folks. If you have more contacts than that, you can do multiple lists and you can add in custom information, anything about information that you might want to reference or include in an email communication. Johanna mentioned some of these earlier. Maybe it's the number of years that they've attended your gala. Maybe it's the dollar amount that they contributed last year to GivingTuesday. And you can mention all these things so that they feel like, man, these guys are on top of things. They know me, they know how I support them, and they acknowledge that support. It's important to them. So now it's important to me to support them on this really awesome, important day. And this is available in ticket events, donation websites, and donation forms. So all these amazing products that we've got going on, they are already live and ready for you. Okay, so we are going to now demo. And I'm going to show you, this is a test page. This is not a real organization, but it's called Active Recovery Foundation. And the idea behind it is folks that are living a life in sobriety and using running, swimming, cycling, any kind of activity that will help keep them on the road to recovery. And so what we'll do now is just go through each one of these pages within your dashboard related to email. And it's great the way it's set up, because we're just going to go in order from top to bottom. So if you're at your dashboard for your donation website, you're going to head over to your email tab below, and then click on email settings. And this is where you're going to set up some default contact information so that folks know what it's coming from and who they would email to get in touch with. And so, as Johanna mentioned before, there's two different types of transactional emails. These are things like, hey, you donated this much, thank you. Something that's very specific and just giving information to somebody. Marketing promotional, this is often going to be to those custom lists that you might upload. Maybe they haven't donated yet, or haven't done it in a while, or haven't done something specific for this campaign or this donation website. And so you would want maybe that to go to a different person if they're going to respond. Or maybe you might want to change the name. So when it's transactional, you might want to say the events team at Running for Recovery, or for any other brand that you have at Active Recovery Foundation. Is it any more terrifying to be typing in front of a live group of people? I'm going to do my best here. And then maybe for marketing, you might want to just keep that as the name of your organization. And then you can save your settings here to complete that. Then going to custom lists. So this is again where you can upload any information you have about past donors, past attendees of your events. And you can see I've already set up some right here, and I'm going to walk you through how to add a new list. And there's two ways that you can add contacts. So let's start out and say add new list. And we're going to call this one 2018 donors. And now you can see it's got my list name up here, who created it, when I created it, and now I can add contacts. And I can do it again in two ways. So I can enter in here, whoops, the email address, and then the rest of my information, and I can go ahead and save that. Okay, so now you can see I've entered this one contact in. I can continue to upload or to add additional contacts. And again, I can do it by the single entry, but the real power is with the CSV. So again, if you're using Excel and you convert that to a CSV file, you can upload it here. And you do need to have an email address column, and it states that right here, that is required, but the rest of it can be any kind of headings. And again, that's where you're going to bring in total money raised in the past, or maybe number of donors that have supported them. And that's up to you. So we're going to go ahead and choose a list that is from my files. Sorry, my computer is going a little slow. Here we go. And let me just make sure I'm getting the right file here. Here we go. And I'm going to add in this document here. And we recommend best practice to use your first row as the header row. So that way we can identify which fields you're going to bring over and how we can map them. So I'm going to go ahead and say row 1 is a header data. I'm going to continue. And then here it's already mapping because I included the exact wording of how these map to our fields, first name, last name, and email. But then here you can see these 3 columns are custom ones that I brought in. These are not GiveSignup, RunSignup fields, but they're about to become them as I bring them into the system. You can see here if I've got more data that I don't need to bring in, I can skip a column, or I can go ahead and map it to a custom placeholder. And then this is so cool. I can actually change the placeholder tag. Maybe I did a typo in my header row in my spreadsheet, or maybe I'm like, that doesn't make sense to me. Maybe I want to shorten it, so I can just take it off and customize it, and that's what will be brought in when I finally upload. So I'm going to go ahead and select custom placeholder. Yeah, maybe I don't want that underscore right there, right? So I'm going to fix that, and I'm going to bring in this last one here. So how much money did they raise last year, the number of years that they've donated, and then the member status. So we have statuses in this fictitious organization, depending on how you've contributed in the past. So I'll go ahead and continue. It tells me 7 contacts will be imported. Click the button to start. I start my import. It's telling me that it has started. It should only take a few minutes. You'll see updates here. Do not reload this page. And whoa, we were not even 10 seconds and my import has completed successfully. I see a button here that can take me to the list details. And here we go. You can see all of my contacts, some wonderful colleagues of mine at GiveSignup here who I've added and I'm going to be requesting donations from for GivingTuesday. And if I want to add another spreadsheet, I can add more contacts. I can do the single entry again, but very easy, right? And very quick. Let's see. So now I'm going to show you how to actually send the email. So first, I'm going to designate, is this a marketing or transactional email? And again, the most important distinction here is it's going to show the different contact information for who the email is coming from, and then who will the email go to when you reply. So that's what this distinction means. And then when I select my recipients, I see all my custom lists that I've uploaded here, and I can include and exclude lists. That's pretty cool, right? So let's say I've got a huge list of my 2019 donors, but I don't want to send multiple emails. It's going to dedupe anyway, but let's say I want to exclude the folks that are that already donated in 2018, or maybe it's the opposite, right? I want to do 2018 and then I want to exclude my 2019. So I can do this, and then it makes a custom dynamic list for me. Also, if this is a donation site that I've already accepted donations from, I can include those that have already donated to me. Or let's say I'm going to send out to everybody on my 2019 list, but I don't want to ask I can clear that. I don't want to ask folks that have already donated to me, so I'm going to exclude my current donors and only go out to those. Again, I said that to include. Only go out to those that are that have not donated yet, that are on my list. So very powerful for those of you that live in the email world for your organization. This is a very powerful tool that can really help you make sure what Johanna referred to, which is getting the right information, the right email, the right communication at the right time to the right person. So I'm going to go ahead and save this setting then. You can see it's defaulting these values from when I chose a marketing or transactional type of email. And then I can customize my subject. So support us on Giving Tuesday. I'm only going to use one. I've learned over the time from my friend Johanna not to use 11, which I started with, exclamation points. We're just going to do one today. And then down below, oh, and also I want to point out under best practices, which Johanna covered. So if you forgot those, here they are. Be descriptive, keep it short, limit your punctuation. So helpful reminders as you're going through, and also for maybe your team members that are also going to be going in here and setting up this email. So now the fun part. You can see it's already defaulting the logo that I have put in for my donation site, as well as the name of our organization for the site. And then it's going to tell me exactly which pieces I need to replace. And here's the really smart piece, because we have your back. If you forget to update one of these pieces that says replace, we're not going to let you keep going. We're going to remind you. We don't want you sending anything out that says update this section with the content. So I think that's a really smart feature that, again, we got you guys in mind. So we can replace this just by highlighting the text and say, support us this Giving Tuesday. And then under the section with my content, this is where I'm going to get a little bit more granular, and I'm going to say dear, and then whoa, check out the replacement tags, right? This is where you're going to wow them, knock their socks off by making sure that they know that you know who they are. So I'm going to say dear first name, and then I'm just going to start typing, we really appreciate your support last year of, and then I'm going to send in the 2020 money raised. This qualifies you for a special incentive as a, so some of this I'm making up as I'm going on here, but I've got a member status that I can bring in. And let's see, last year. Yep. So then I can bring in the number of years. So again, anything that you want to be sending out to these folks, I wouldn't write a novel, right? That would be my personal advice. Make sure it's short and sweet, but give them all the details. Follow us on our social media channels. Maybe give them links to those. We'll be sending out updates all day. Follow the fun, right? So anything you want to do, and then here the update with the call to action. So this is where you are going to, when I highlight this button here, you can see the link has grayed up here, this link icon. When I click on this, I can now update the URL that I'm going to send them to, and I'm just going to use a generic one here, but this would be your actual donation website or your GivingTuesday campaign that you have set up for this specific cause. And then you're going to want to update this with support us on GivingTuesday or whatever text you prefer. All right, so then it's going to give me an option to review my email. I can get an estimated recipient count. There's 8 people in my database that I'll be sending out to. I can send it immediately, or I can schedule a send date and time. And I can do that for today. I can send it later today or a day in the future. And then also, I mean, so cool, right? You can toggle back and forth between the desktop and the mobile views. So once an email is actually sent out, you'll be able to see here that this one on the bottom did send out, shows me when it went out, and then the number of emails it went to. And then these ones that I had started but didn't send, I can go ahead and go back in and actually schedule them. And then it's going to show some counts up here as well. So some good reporting here to make sure you know what has gone out, maybe what hasn't yet. And then under email reports, so these are some cool stats that you can use these different filters to search by a day or a week or a month, and then custom dates here. And what was your open rate? What was the click-through rate? What was your bounce rate? A nice table or graph to show this, and then the table down here to show the different emails that went out. So again, it's going to look a lot like what you may have been paying for every month on other platforms, but you're getting this now for free with GiveSignup, RunSignup. So yeah, I think that kind of covers our demo. And what I do want to mention though to everybody is that when we are, let me get back to my present mode. Here we go. I'm offering, because I love spending time with nonprofits and making sure that you all can get the most out of our platform. And because this is a new feature, we're going to send out a link with the recorded version of this webinar today, and you can schedule a demo with me. We can pull up and screen share your specific donation website or ticket event, and we can go through the new email marketing tool. We can look at your data with privacy and security and make sure that by the end of that demo, you're ready to send out your email right away. So, and you can start scheduling those with me as soon as you get that email with the link. All right, so now I'm going to pass back over to Johanna, who's going to talk about, I mean, all of us are fanboying and fangirling over here on our team about the templates, and Johanna gets the awesome job of telling you about how it's coming up really soon.
Yeah, so this is kind of the next thing. If you saw in the email that Steve was building right now, it's a really super simple template, and that will still be an option if you just want to add some text and have a button. What we are building out that's going to be really cool is going to look a lot more like our website builder in terms of different automatic blocks that you can plug in. So the webinar, the email that you see on the side there is just one template. And the way that it would work is you could move those pieces around if you wanted to have, you know, your section title, the one that says section title up at the top, you could switch your blocks around. You can make them look any way you want with different types of modules. So they're going to be a lot more, you know, flexible and fun for you to build out much more complex emails. Along with that, we're also going to start building some sorts of automated sections that include actual content that you can use, example content that you may want to pull in certain types of information for certain types of events. All of it would be editable. Everything is always customizable, but we're going to try to make it as easy as possible for you to pull in the types of modules that you want and really make them work. There will also be some improved reporting that some of that is actually already in compared to the original version, but make it a little bit easier for you guys to tell, what's happening with all of your emails. All right, yeah, I mean, that's our kind of bottom line. We've got 10,000 or so nonprofits have already raised more than 1.3 billion using our technology, and we're really excited about, if you can't tell, the email marketing and how easy it's going to be to help people with Giving Tuesday campaigns. Especially, we've had a lot of organizations that have told us so far they haven't done a Giving Tuesday campaign before, so we're looking forward to seeing people get out and get through their first one or build on what they've done in previous years. Great. Any questions?
We don't have any.
All right, well, that's easy. If you guys have any after, you can still send them to us. We'll still answer them after the webinar, and we'll send out, like Steve said, his booking link, so that if you want, if you have an email that you've set up and you want some help reviewing it, or if you just want to walk through it the first time with someone, he'd be happy to help you. Thanks,
you guys.
Everybody. We'll see you.